3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? My name is Ash. You're watching Ash on Comics. And it's time that we talk about the 900-pound gorilla in the room. Joining me, as always, is Stan the Man and our pal Forky. Oh, what's going on, Forky? Notice you're kind of standing close to Princess Leia over there. That's all right. I'm not criticizing, buddy. I got these things at the comic book store last Wednesday. Little freebies that they have. They're announcing Face the Future. These come out. The first one comes out next week. Now, my boy Wes from Thinking Critical did a fantastic video. Go to his channel, Thinking Critical, on YouTube. Did a really cool. He does better stuff than I do. Really good industry coverage. Really good analysis and just like commentary on the industry and just different things that's going on. That's kind of his shtick. He also does some comic reviews too, but it's not the focus of his channel. He does this sort of thing I'm about to do here better than me, but I really wanted to chime in on this subject because I'm a huge XMen fan, or at least I used to be a long time ago. Feels like such a long time ago. I have been staying away from X-Men since I've been back into comics. I listen to other people's reviews. I kind of pay attention to what's going on because I want to follow from the outside. But here's the thing. I can't stand, if I love something, and X-Men is something I truly love, I can't stand to consume shitty versions of it. I'm not one of those people. You know, some people, they love things and they just want more and more and more of it. And they'll even consume like amateur fan fiction just to get more. I can't relate to that. I don't understand how that works. I only want the absolute best of the best. And if I can't have it, I'm just really not interested. That's kind of why I got out of comics, and collecting at least, in the mid-90s, because X-Men just started getting mediocre. It wasn't even like it was bad like it is today. It was just, I was used to the best X-Men ever was. And so when it was just sort of average, I was like, that's not for me. And other things caught my interest. Now, fast forward to today, and X-Men is trash. When I got back into comics, the Rainbow X-Men were out in full swing. You got X-Men Red, Yellow, Blue. Well, they ended up coming up with a black one. It was terrible. It was just so awful and hideous. I couldn't even stand to look at it. And then last year, around this time last year, Marvel made this big announcement. We're canceling all the X-Men red, blue, rainbow colored teams. We're canceling all these books, and we're bringing back what you wanted. Uncanny X-Men. We've been hearing you, and you don't want this stuff. You want the original, and we're bringing it back. And I was like, oh, interesting. I don't buy it, because it's still going to be under the same editorial team. It's still going to be the same Marvel. You're putting different writers on it, probably the same trash artists. It's just going to end up being the same crap X-Men book, because ultimately it's about being at the top. Marvel at the top, until the top changes, until the leadership of Marvel changes, until Sana Amanet's not running things and C.B. Cebulski is her right-hand sycophant, nothing is going to change, right? It's the creative teams at Marvel can only do so much. They don't have control. And so I was right. Uncanny X-Men turned out to be shit. They turned out to be a scam against the readers. In 6 months, they pumped out about 20 issues, and then they announced they were canceling the series. All X-Men series, including Uncanny X-Men. Why? For this. Jonathan Hickman's coming, and we got to give him... We can't just let him take over X-Men, which would have been the right thing to do. Just keep Uncanny X-Men. Here, Jonathan Hickman... You go take it to town. No. That's not how things were done. In the old days, when X-Men was on its deathbed, and it was on the verge of cancellation, and it was just reprinting old books. I don't know if many of you remember that. Old X-Men used to reprint even older X-Men books within its pages. They just kept the numbering going, and they just were reprinting previous stories. It was like a virtual cancellation. It's something that I don't know if has ever really been done in other comics before. And then around X-Men 94, with Giant Size X-Men #1, they rebooted the series, so to speak. We would call it a reboot today. What they did was just actually, they just came up with a new team, and the old team got captured, and then Professor X had to go recruit a new team to go rescue the old team. And then they rescued the old team, and then the old team said, "We're out of here, we're retiring." So the new team stayed, and that was just the way they did it. And it was really kind of a cool way to bring in these new guys. I think only Cyclops stayed. Maybe Marvel Girl too. Marvel Girl stayed. But the three dumb characters, I call them the dumb characters. I didn't ever like them: Beastman, Iceman, and Angel. The three uninteresting characters, they're not dumb, went away, and they had the new ones. And then Jean Grey died. Not too far down the road. Anyways, Chris Claremont, they didn't make this big announcement. Chris Claremont's getting this book and he's going to change them. No, they just, here's a new book. You do what you can. This is what Hickman should have done. If Hickman had the integrity of Chris Claremont, if he was really he wouldn't need his own book. He would just pick up. You don't need to start new numbering to make a difference. Just keep things going. In fact, get rid of the #1 altogether. If I were in Hickman's shoes, I would be like, I want to take over, and I want to take the legacy number, whatever Uncanny X-Men was on with the legacy number, and just put that as the number. That's how I'm gonna make my big splash. And in fact, if you want to do this like giant size House of X #1 to signify the big change is big, fine. But then tell the rest of this story in Uncanny X-Men numbers whatever. That's how you do it. But that's not what they're doing. And when I realized, and immediately that's not what they're doing, I realized right away that this was just another scam. Now, some people didn't believe me. Some people were like, no, this looks really good. And I have to agree. I would listen to Hickman and him talk about the series, and I would watch him on social media, and man, that dude is saying all the right things. It was to the point where I was getting excited. I was like, wow, maybe we're gonna have good X-Men again. This guy sounds like he really wants to. He's gonna do it right. Well, my boy Wes, he has this Thinking Critical. I'm on a DM channel with him on Twitter for the comics aficionados, and we talk behind the scenes about stuff. And he was kind of getting excited. He's like, I'm pre-ordering. I'm getting on this. And I was like, Wes, no, it's. And I told him, I said basically the same thing I said to you guys. I'm like, this isn't gonna be. It doesn't matter about Hickman. Like Hickman, I'm not saying you're wrong to believe in Hickman. He's doing all the right things. You're right. I get why you're excited. I'm kind of excited too. But you got to stop. Reel it back for a second. Stop and think. Hickman's not in charge. He doesn't get to make all the decisions. He's just writing a book. He made a pitch and Marvel's accepting it. But Marvel can pull the plug from him at any time. Marvel just wants new #1s. And Hickman gave him a reason to make 1, 2, 3 just for X-Men alone. That's not even counting the new books that they're launching. And they're launching 9 new books on top of this. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, you're getting 12 new #1s out of this for Hickman. That's 12 new #1s. That's a #1 every month for a year, essentially. So they're gonna run this for a year, maybe 2 years, and then it's gonna get canceled and rebooted again because that's what Marvel does. Hickman's not in charge. And so I was like saying, as long as Son Amonet's pulling the strings, as long as C.B. Cebulski's out there being completely inept and impotent, it doesn't matter how good Hickman is. Chris Claremont himself could come back with Jim Lee doing the art, and Marvel would find a way to screw it up. And sure enough, Comic-Con just came and went, and Marvel did their big X-Men announcements, and the hype of this book went from 60 to 0 in about 60 seconds. Let's just talk about some of the things here. What is the powers of X? Hickman is introducing a next era of X-Men, blah, blah, blah. Oh, these stories will be the foundation of all X-Men stories over the next several years. Oh, exciting. What's the House of X about? It's about a pivotal month in the history of the X-Men where everything changes for mutants on Earth. We can't tell you more because we've sworn oaths of secrecy. Well, can you at least tell us why it's not just in the X-Men book, why you need to make a special book? What is Powers of X? Powers of X is a story about unknown secret history of the mutants in the Marvel Universe. That is all we can say because we've sworn a blood. Why isn't this in the X-Men book? Why do you need 2 books? Which series is the main book? They're both the main book. Although the grammar of that sentence may be incorrect, the answer is not. Each series is equally important. Of course it is. As you need to read both. Of course, because you can't just have one. You got to scam. Why have one when you can scam the reader for 2? And as you delve further into each series, you'll see how they're connected. Well, you wouldn't need to connect it. If you need to read both, just make it one. The only reason you should ever have multiple series is because you don't need both. It's the only reason. Which series should I read? Well, I guess you skip the above question. You should read both series. And then it should just be one series. But one series only gets one number 1, not 2. Remember this. Which series should I read? Oh, I guess I never said. Is the name of the series pronounced Powers of X or Powers of 10? That's a good question. It's pronounced Powers of 10. You'll understand when you read the series. What if I don't want to read the series? Because it sounds stupid. And why is it called Powers of X? Look, why is this House of X, but that's Powers of 10? Put the lines over if it's a Roman numeral. What happens after the House of X? Oh, well, glad you asked. We have the benefit of long-term planning and knowing this will be a direction of the X-Books for the next several years. At the conclusion of House of X and Powers of X, we'll be launching an entire new universe of books. Some will be traditional fare, some will carry through the ideas presented in House and Powers of X, and some books are completely new. Hickman will be writing the ongoing flagship book. Are the House of X and Powers of X any good? Like they're going to say no. Oh my goodness. So up here is comicbook.com, and there's some videos from Hickman, and they talk about some of the same things. And let's just take a look what they announced at San Diego Comic-Con. Number 1, we've got X-Men number 1, right? So this is the Hickman book that will be following these books. Now, these books are $5.99 a piece. Let me reiterate this, $5.99 a piece, and they come out every week. So starting tomorrow, pay your $5.99, and every week until the series is over, you're paying $5.99. So monthly, 6 times 4, you're paying $24 a month just to follow Powers of X and House of X. I'm calling it House of X. I don't give a shit. They call it. If it's we want it to be called House of 10, call it House of. Spell it House of 10. $24 a month just to follow this. Now, you're like, oh, that's not too much, Ash. I can afford $24 a month. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you can add $24 a month to your pull list. Here's X-Men number 1. Or should I say, the Summers family plus Wolverine number 1. Every single person here is a Summers. Except for Wolverine. Summers, Wolverine. Stupid. Okay, now, what was... Oh, they're bringing back Excalibur. Ooh, look at this. But this doesn't look like Where's Nightcrawler? What kind of Excalibur is it? Where's Megan? Where's any Excalibur? That's wearing a Captain Britain uniform, but that's not Captain Britain. This just looks like 90s. It's got Jubilee and... Why the fuck is Apocalypse? Oh my god, it's fucking stupid. By Teenie Howard. Dumb. A new day is forged. Mutant kind has always been special. As is their relationship with the world, or worlds around them. As this new era dawns, a new connection forms between mutants and the magic of the world and that of the other world. Can the new Captain Britain forge a new way through the chaos with her companions Rogue, Gambit, Jubilee, Richter, and Apocalypse? Could this be more uninspired? Bring back Brian. I want real Excalibur. This is dumb. Marauders. For those of you that don't know, Marauders are the people that killed the mutants. back when I started collecting comics, shortly, like about within that first year of collecting comics, they had Fall of the Mutants. Fall of the Mutants introduced the Marauders, who later were revealed to be working for, I think, Mr. Sinister. They killed almost all the mutants. It was the most ballsy, crazy, ridiculous, violent X-Men story, and it hooked me for life. It was awesome. Fall of the Mutants is fantastic. No way Kitty Pryde and Iceman and Storm are calling themselves the Marauders. Bishop wasn't there. Emma Frost is an evil bitch. She should not be an X-Men. Oh, look, there's an X-Men villain. I love modern day writers. These love to make villains into heroes. No, oh God, I cannot be less interested. Written by Gary Dugan. The X-Men sail at dawn. Even in this glorious new dawn, mutant kind faces hardships and oppression from their human counterparts. Oh, geez, here it comes. The bigotry. Probably gonna have some mustard with that. Led by Captain Kate Pryde. Not Kitty Pryde anymore, she's Captain Kate Pryde. And funded by Emma Frost and the Hellfire Trading Company. Oh, for fuck's sake. Marauders storm, Pyro, Bishop, Iceman sail the seas of the world to protect those hated and feared. So it's literally a pirate ship of SJWs. New Mutants. Why is there a New Mutants? Why? Why is there a New Mutants? And why is it a bunch of old mutants? These are not new. Sunspot is not new. Magic. Is that Wolfsbane? Moondragon? Cypher? These aren't the New Mutants. I mean, they are the New Mutants, but remember the New Mutants became X-Force 30 years ago? They grew up. Written by Jonathan Hickman and Ed Brisson. Oh, okay. The classic New Mutants, Sunspot, Wolfsbane, Mirage, Karma, Magic, Cypher, get together with the new friends, Chamber and Mondo. Oh yeah, Chamber. He was another one 30 years ago. To seek out their missing members and share the good news. I guess they're going to pass out Watchtower pamphlets, like convert them to Jehovah's Witness? Like, what do they do sharing the good news? A mission that takes them into space alongside the Starjammers. You know what I like? A Starjammers book. Written by someone good. not this shit. Fallen Angels. Hey, look. It's Psylocke. But, wait a second. That's Psylocke. Only they changed everything we liked about Psylocke, and then they made her take over her brother's spot because you can't have a man lead in X-Men anymore, apparently. Gotta have, oh, look at that. Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde leading a team is like the dumbest thing ever. Oh, look, there we go. Look, there we go. Every one of them. So who's this? Okay, so now we have someone else. Apparently it's this character Quanon, which I'm not familiar about because I don't read modern X-Men. Quanon, wannabe Wolverine girl, and young Cable. Just the three of them, and they're fallen angels. Like, why do we need this book? Okay, look, it's Brian Edward Hill. I love Brian Edward Hill. Dude is a fucking great guy. I want to support anything that he does. I really do. He's great to the fans. He tries hard. He respects the characters. I love you, Brian, but this book looks fucking terrible. Like, I'm sure you're going to try your best, but I don't give two shits. I don't like, first of all, X-23, the all-new Wolverine, needs to die. I hate this bitch with a passion. Young Cable, I think, is... just give us real Cable, and I don't want fucking fake cosplay Psylocke. No interest. These characters have no business having a book. None. Not all belong in paradise. Psylocke finds herself in this new world of mutant kind, unsure of her place in it. She's not Psylocke. But when a face from her past returns only to be killed, she seeks help from others who feel similar to get vengeance. Cable and X-23 join Quanon for a personal mission that could jeopardize all mutant kind. Just call her Quanon. XForce. Oh, okay. So here we have like the only one that has a somewhat decent looking cover. Except why does XForce look like XMen? This looks the closest to what I want. Like as an, I guess, well, why is Wolverine here? He's in the X-Men book. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why is she here? She's in the X-Men book. I don't know. Beast. Oh, who's this chick? And oh, look, another X-Men villain. And look, an X-Men reject who is absolutely anything but a hero. Written by Benjamin Piercy. Okay, I guess he's an okay writer. The cost of the future isn't cheap. X-Force is the CIA of the mutant world. Oh, okay. So in other words, they're the they're the swamp. They're the group working against mutant kind secretly in the background. They're the ones, like, they're the villains. I don't know what's. They're the CIA. One half intelligence branch, one half special ops. Beast, Jean Grey, and Sage on one side, Wolverine, Kid Omega, and Domino on the other. In a perfect world, there'd be no need for an X-Force. We're not there. Yet. Oh, jeez. This is stupid. What do you mean on the other side? What is there some sort of like... And are we getting old Domino back, or is this Gail Simone's silly Billy Domino? Who knows? So yeah, that's what we're getting to launch. So we get 6 X books to launch. We don't know how much they're going to cost. I'm sure the initial issues will be $4.99 or $5.99, and then it'll probably be $3.99 afterwards. So we don't even know if they're monthly, but presume that they are monthly. 6 times 4, so another $24 a month to keep your 6 books every month. But if they're bi-weekly, you could double that. 40. Oh, but that's not all. They've announced 3 more books are coming in the next phase. So they're smart not to just bombard you with all 10 books at once. But this is garbage. Marvel has no interest at all in giving you an X-Men series that is there for you, the consumer, that you want. This is yet another marketing scam to flood the shelves with things that you are a fan of and use predatory practices to suck the money out of you. You're going to get a half-baked product, and you're going to thank them for it. And when you get sick and tired of it, they're going to cancel it and reboot again and promise you something new. Again, we hear we're going to do good this time. They're going to constantly. It's just like battered wife syndrome. Oh, we hear you. We love you. We're not going to beat you anymore. We promise. Look, I think Jonathan Hickman has a good idea. Maybe I think he's got good motivations. I think he's going to try with his book. But I think Marvel is going to handicap him at every single corner, because instead of just letting him tell an X-Men story, they're going to just flood the shelves with all these. They call it they're launching an entire new X universe. And with Marvel, who they do 6 events per year, next year, within 6 months, there's going to be a gigantic X event, massive crossover. I'm sorry, man. I just had to rant. This video is an X-Men rant. I hope you watch my boy Wes's. I hope that you forgive me for this video. Thank you for indulging me. I just have to get this off my chest. I don't necessarily like doing the commentary videos like this. I do like talking about it, though. I'm just not really good. If you watch his West video, you understand what I'm talking about. He's better. But I just wanted to talk. I wanted to be a part of the conversation. I wanted to address, Wes, if you're watching, you now know what I think. My boys, Bats, Comic Quirks, like Oz Chris I follow. Who else? DC Fans United doesn't give two shits about X-Men, I'm sure. He's probably not even watching this. Tristan from Nerdette's Newsstand. Still, I think it should be called Nerd Shack, but she doesn't listen. But what do I know? Her channel's way bigger than me. I'm sure it's... Oh, I can't stop ranting about this. This is terrible. Again, I thank you for indulging me. Stan, I'm glad that you don't have to witness what's going on with your X-Men. You gave us something great, and thank you for being who you were, everything you gave us. Thank you for watching the boy over here, Forky, and being a good example to him. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it to this far, you're a masochist. And you're just like, I guess, most X-Men fans. So I want this to be good. I really wish it was. Look at this. What happened to Nightcrawler? What is that guy? That's so terrible. Oh, I'm so sad. I just, why can't we have a good X-Men?